Hi you guys. Okay, today we are going to do a Denver backpack by Swoon. This is the large one. You go by both. Okay, good. Hey Stacy. So this is the large Denver backpack by Swoon. So I'm sure people when they're jumping on are like, what are you making? So if I missed the question, if you guys can just post that for me. Hi Jessica. All right, let's get into it. Lori is here. This is her custom order, and she chose the beautiful butterfly print. So this is going to be the exterior. It's raining for the first time in 57 days. Good gracious. Hi. Hello. And then we are going to do a black coordinating vinyl. So these are going to be like the back of it, the bottom, the straps. And then the interior is also going to be a butterfly material. So this is going to be the interior. I added a zipper pocket with mine. We're going to sew this, inside out. So I left the pocket open. Hey Tammy. Hi Zoe. Hey you guys. All right, so let's just jump right into it. The back of the backpack has the shoulder straps, shoulder strap connectors, and then there's a grab handle at the top of the bag. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the back with all of those pieces. So let me just get myself together here. That is going to be the grab strap. This is going to be the shoulder strap attachments. This is for the front and this is for the front. So I'm going to set these aside for now and let's work on the grab handle. I'm good. How are you? So I don't think that this is part of the pattern. I don't believe so, but I'm hesitant to give out the measurements just in case. I just created the measurements. Hey Ashley. Hey Tasha. Aren't they cute? Alright, so this is going to be folded up 4 times. I'm going to put a piece of double-sided tape down the center. I have a line down there too to show me where my center is. And then I'm going to fold that piece in half, this piece in half, and then we're going to fold it again and then sew it straight down. Do you have a backpack hanging on? I don't. No, or I would show you. Hi. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew this down. The edges of this is going to be tucked inside these seam allowance. You're not going to see it, which is why I didn't do it with the finished edge. Hi, hello. Because you're not going to see it. So I'm just going to sew down one side and then sew down the other. I'm going to check my bobbin too because I was just sewing something. So that's what it's going to look like. And then it's going to be sewn into the top of the bag like that. So you're not going to see the bottom pieces. Alright, let me set this aside. These are going to be our shoulder strap connectors. So I'm going to do the same thing with the piece of tape down the center. These are not going to be folded up 4 times though. We're just going to fold one side to the half mark and then the other side to the half mark. So I'm going to take that off. And just fold it halfway on one side and then halfway on the other side. I haven't looked at this pattern in at least 6 months, so if I'm doing something, I'm probably doing something a little bit different than the pattern says. So don't take this as gospel. Alright, so they are folded in half. We're not going to fold it in half again. What we're going to do is fold it over, but you're not going to see the side seam because I'm going to stitch down each side. We're making a Lola, or I'm sorry, not a Lola, a Denver backpack by Swoon. They're my baby today. And I love it. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Deanie. Okay, so I'm going to take my 1-inch rectangle ring. I'm going to slide that down. And then I'm going to clip these together just so they stay in place while I'm sewing. And that is what our shoulder straps are going to connect to. I just got live. I have bad internet. Oh no. Me too. My husband, I've been complaining about my internet. Like, I thought at first it was my computer because it was just going so slow, and our Wi-Fi's downstairs. He finally bought this plug-in thing, which is like a Wi-Fi router extender, I think, or a Wi-Fi extender, something like that, and it's like so fast. Yeah, this is an industrial sewing machine. Okay, so here are our shoulder strap connectors, and then I'm going to sew up, across, and then down. Oh, let me check my bobbin. Thanks, Just Mammy. Alright, I'm good for a little while. I actually prepared and made a second bobbin right before I came on. So we're going to be good. Alright. Let's sew these up. Clip my thread. Hello, I got the notification. Good. I know sometimes people get it, sometimes they don't. Alright, so here are what our shoulder strap connectors look like sewn up, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with this one. Please check email regarding PDF order. Okay, I'll do it as soon as I get off this live. I was going to get the big pattern. Can I make it in a shorter height? Yeah, of course. Just whatever you take off the exterior, just take off the interior. So if you want to make it 2 inches shorter on the exterior, just do the exact same thing with the lining. I ordered both your patterns. Thanks, Carolyn. I hope you enjoy them. I had made some hardware kits for the Big B over the weekend, and they are sold out. So I just ordered a whole bunch more hardware today, and hopefully I can restock more of those by the end of the week. My hair is looking real crazy. I just checked my bobbin. Thank you, though. Okay, so here are the 2 shoulder strap connectors plus a piece of my hair, which is so gross. So I'm going to set these aside. And then this is the part that connects the closure. Might not make sense now, but it will make sense once I put everything together. I wish I had one, but I've sold out of all of my backpacks, and I'm just kind of doing them on a custom order just because they're so expensive to make and they're so expensive to buy. I got both patterns in the hardware kit. Yay, 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 yay. All the hardware kits just got picked up, so you should have gotten an email with your tracking number, and it was scanned in, so you should be able to see when to expect it if you go back to that tracking number. Alright, here we go. How do we want to do this? We're going to do it the same way we just did our shoulder strap connector. My hair's crazy about today. It's just a Monday thing. Got your pattern. Yay! Okay, so here's going to be the bottom of the closure for the backpack. It's kind of hard to walk you through without seeing this. If you get a second and want to jump off the live while I'm sewing something to look at the Denver, just so you can kind of see where we're going at with all of this. I'm going to clip my thread. Alright, here we go, all stitched up. Where did you get these clips from? Waywack. They're called Wonder Clips. There are some on Amazon for a lot cheaper, but they're just not as good. I made your Big B. Yay! I'm so glad. I have a Big B, and then I have a passport holder. All right, so this is the other part of the closure. I put a piece of Peltex on the interior of mine. I don't think the pattern calls for it, but again, it's been about at least 6 months since I've looked at the pattern. So I'm going to put double-sided tape all around the interior. We're going to fold up the sides of this little pattern piece so that we don't have any raw edges. So the tape's going to hold those folds all together. So I'm just folding and maneuvering it around. And this is 1/4 inch double-sided tape. I get that from Waywack as well. I'm going to push it down, make sure it stays, and then take off the backing. Do you sew through your tape? Yes, I do. So I'm just going to go around, take that tape off. And then I'm going to fold in the sides. Just like that. And then I'm just going to keep going around. I got my keychain wallet. Yay, I'm so glad. I don't sell vinyl now. Make sure everything lines up. I'm just going to put a couple clips on the corner so it doesn't come off that tape. And then do the same thing down here. Okay, so all these folds are going to give us a clean edge so we don't have a raw edge. And then I'm just going to top stitch all the way around. Where did you list the hardware? It's on my website, so it's right in the same section as my digital patterns. I should have done it from the other way because this tape underneath here is kind of sticking to my table. But it's too late now. We are committed. It's sold out though. The hardware that I posted for the Big B, I'm all sold out. But I'm going to try to restock by the end of this week. Okay. So that just has a top stitch all the way around. And then now what I'm going to do is attach my lobster clasp. The fires were awful. They did not affect me. No, that's a different island than where I'm on. Anything new? This is going to be a backpack. This is a custom order. Okay, so I'm just, oh, that's the wrong way. Alright. And then this gets folded over and clipped on the front of the backpack. And then it's going to attach to this. So this is going to keep the backpack closed along with a zipper. So I'm just going to clip this together and then set it aside because this is the very last piece that gets attached to the backpack. Okay, set that aside. What are we going to do next? Let's start adding stuff to the bag. So this is the bottom. And then that is where this little clip is going to be attached to. And then the top is going to come down and clip to the bottom. So we're going to sew this in place. I'm just going to line it up with my cincher mark. And then just do a little stay stitch on there. Alright, so that's all the prepping for the bottom. And then now we're going to work on the back. So first we're going to go ahead and sew down our grab strap. Will the die press work for all size dives? So it depends. I would go to the manufacturer and ask that question. Whoever you're buying your die sets from. All lives recorded and posted so I can watch from the beginning. Not all of them, some of them. I'll probably wind up posting this on my YouTube channel once I'm done. Just made my first purchase. Yay! Thank you, Rihanna. Okay, so that's just clipped in place. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that on. I was looking at the one that you had listed. The one that I use, again, I don't know what their dyes are. I would reach out to the manufacturer, which I believe was Gold Star Tools or Gold Star Sewing. But I know they have a phone number where you can actually speak to somebody. I just received my owl notebook. Yay! That's a cute gift. Okay, so that is just stitched in place. Just like that. And then now what we're going to do is add our back strap connectors. Those get sewn on like that. So I'm going to find my marks, line that up. And the pattern gives you all of the little marks for where these go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a little stitching on the side just to keep those in place. Are you making a backpack? Yes. Yep, this is a custom order for Miss Lori, who is on live with us. Okay, and then now I'm just going to trim a little bit of this material off. Not much because we want it caught in our side seam. So I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch on both sides. Okay, next we're going to take our shoulder straps, add our adjusters. This is going to allow the material to, or the straps to be shortened or lengthened. So the first step is to attach this. And then I'm going to do a double fold. And then sew them together. Some people use rivets for this part. You can use a rivet. I just like to sew it in place. So that's going to be sewn on like that. We'll do the same thing to the other one. Do a double fold. Alright, and then we're going to stitch a rectangle. And I'll show you up close what it looks like. Clip my thread. And then I'm just going to singe my threads. So that is what it looks like stitched on. It's just a box stitched in place. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Making the Denver back. Yep. Oh, thanks. That you were asking. Yes. also stitched on. Let me get my threads together. So there we go. And then now what we're going to do is take this, making sure that it's nice and straight, it's not twisted up. Slide that through here, and then slide it through the buckle like that. And then I'm just going to clip this here. What I'm essentially going to do is fold this over, sew it down, but I'm just going to clip this here to get it out of the way. And then we'll do the same thing with the other side. So make sure everything is nice and straight. Pull it through, and then clipped up at the top. Alright, so here's what we're looking like. This is going to be the back, and then this is going to be the shoulder straps. So what I do is a fold. I'm going to sew this fold, and then I'll show you why in a second. So this is called webbing. It's nylon, so it's very slick. Think about like a seatbelt, how, you know, soft and shiny it is. So what I don't want to do, because it's just a layer, I don't want this coming through my seam allowance after I sew it. So what I do is I do a fold and I sew that down. So now we have 2 layers at the top. I'm going to stick this outside of my seam allowance. So that way when I sew it, we have an extra layer of fabric outside of that seam allowance, so it's not going to come through. Just want to make sure everything is lined up, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I made a big bee. It came out cute. Oh, you're welcome. I'm so happy. I love hearing that. Please feel free to join my Facebook group and post your picture. I have a post in there where people can post pictures of their big bees. All done. Alright, so now I'm just going to stitch this in place, these shoulder straps at the top. Make sure it's lined up. And then do this one. Alright, and then the back is done. We're going to go ahead and set this aside and start working on the main part of the backpack. So here's what we got. We have our grab strap, and then we have our shoulder straps. To the big bee there as well. Oh, did it do as well as I expected? Honestly, I didn't really have any expectations of it, but it did well. Alright, now what we're going to do, the front of the bag has 2 side pockets, so 1 on each side. So we're going to go ahead and work on those. They are a zipper pocket, and Miss Lori chose navy zippers. Did you just get started? I've been live for like 20 minutes maybe. This is a great, oh, you're talking about the big bee? This is a great pattern, but the big bee is a great pattern also. Okay, so I'm going to just clip this on right around that edge. Do you do phone case wallets? I don't. There's so many different phones. I wouldn't be able to have enough stock for everything. Okay, so our zipper is just attached to the exterior. I'm going to go ahead and sew that in place. I just go slow around the curve and just hold that zipper in place. Alright. Is this the panel we talked about? Yes. Yes, Miss Lori was so kind. I was cutting out this pattern. And there's two pattern pieces for the side pocket. There's one for the exterior, which is this size, and then there's one for the interior, which is about an inch smaller all the way around. Well, I cut out the butterflies with the smaller pattern. Totally ruined it. Instead of doing it with the large pattern. So I felt terrible. I was going to just order more fabric, but she was okay with this black. And now what we're going to do is attach our interior lining to that zipper as well. So yes, this is the panel. So I'm just going to line that right up against the zipper, and then we're going to sew that in place. I felt terrible. I thought I was going to throw up. That's the thing about custom orders. If you mess it up, I mean, you can mess it up. But she was very kind. Okay, so we have our inside lining in place. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that down. And what I'm going to do is take the seam allowance that I used for the exterior and then just go in about 1/8 of an inch. Hi, Cynthia. And then we're going to turn the pocket to where the wrong sides are together. I'm going to just clip them together so that they're nice and even so I can do a top stitch. Yeah, ask are you near any of the fire? It's a different island, yeah. I'm on Oahu, and that happened on the island of Maui, thankfully. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just a top stitch all the way around. Start from the bottom. Alright, so here is the top stitching, and then here's the inside. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to set this aside. I'm just going to do a little stitch on the corner. That way it'll hold these two pieces together and I can take the clips off. Just a little stitch. And then now I can just take these clips off. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other side of the backpack. So the backpack has two side pockets. This is one. And let me grab the other. And that's the zipper. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. Line this up and stitch it on, and then add the interior. Backpack, yes. I've never even tried to sew, but I love watching you. Thanks. You don't have to be a sewer to watch. Everyone is welcome. A sewist, I should say. Whatever. Some people in the sewing community are really funny about that term. Alright. Fiber artist, I like that. that is on, and then now we're going to add the lining. I SF 101 interface the back of mine. I don't know if the pattern calls for it or not, but I just like the texture and the feel of it and the durability. The type of sewing machine I'm using, a Juki 1181. Oh, that's wrong. Nope, that's right. Then I'm going to sew that down. And then we're going to open it up and do another top stitch. Just came on, what are you making? This is a backpack. What is the price ranges on your purse? I mean, I sell things from $10 to $185, I think is my highest price. But I can't give out specific prices on live, but they are listed all on my website. So I'm just clipping my sides together so I can do a top stitch all the way around the corner. And another reason, if you haven't watched me sew before, if you notice, this is kind of bubbly right here before the top stitch, and then this is what it looks like after the top stitch. It's nice and smooth, and it lays down really nicely. So that is the major reason to do a top stitch. It also looks really pretty. Okay, here we go. That is what it looks like top stitch. That is what the interior looks like. And then now we are going to attach this to the actual exterior pieces of the bag. So before I do that, I want to just make a couple marks where my zipper starts and stops. That's going to be useful in just a second. I am in Hawaii. Oh, you're welcome. Sometimes I miss a question, so if I don't answer it, it's not on purpose. But I know I have at least one amazing moderator, and she knows the answer to everything. There's a butterfly back. This is cotton, and then the exterior, so this is the interior, and then the exterior butterflies is vinyl. All right, so we're going to take the exterior, make sure I have the right piece, and line it up. This is what the panel is going to look like. So now what I'm going to do is line this zipper up to this piece right here. Looks really funky, but trust me, it'll work. Yeah, this is the large side. And that's why I made those marks, so I know where to start and stop with my zipper. So I'm just going to clip that along. I'm going to start on the top, add a couple clips, and then go to the bottom and then meet it in the middle. This is a wonderful pattern. It's a lot of pieces to cut out, and I know the first time I did it, I'm pretty sure it looked terrible, so it might take a couple tries to get it perfect, but it's a very rewarding pattern, and it's so cute. Yeah, this is the large size. So I'm just going along, clipping the zipper in place. There we go. So that is, at the end, what it's going to look like. And then this piece kind of folds over the top like that. It's really hard to explain, especially if you haven't seen this bag done before. Alright, so we're going to sew this in place. I'm just going to turn and sew. That's probably the most challenging part of the bag, just because of the angles that you have to sew, in my opinion. It's not just a straight line. Thanks, Willow. I'm good. Alright, I'm going to clip my thread. Alright, so it is now attached. The zipper is attached to the exterior. And then now what we have to do is add the inside pocket lining. So that is going to get clipped around that curve, and then we're going to sew that in place. Oh, I have to go to work. I'm going to try to put this on my YouTube channel once I'm done. So if you can't stay and watch the whole live, no worries. I'm good, Nina. How do you put your interfacing on the outer vinyl? I don't interface the exterior vinyl. I don't even know if this bag calls for interfacing on the exterior. Like I said, I haven't looked at this pattern in about 6 months. But if it does call for it, I've never. So in my opinion, it's not necessary. Okay, interior is all lined up, and then now we're going to go ahead and take that same stitch line and then go down about 1/8 of an inch and sew that in place. Oh no, you gotta go to bed. Y'all are going to bed so early. Unless you're in a different time zone. I mean, a different country. Alright. So again, I'm just going to sew really slow around those curves, making sure that my fabric is in place. It's 8:30 in North Carolina. I guess it's not that, I guess it's not that late. I don't know why I was thinking it was earlier. Alright, lining is stitched on. Clip my threads. And then now what I'm going to do is close this pocket by sewing all 3 of these layers together. That's also going to secure the other 2 layers together. Oh good, I'm glad the YouTube videos are helpful. Okay, and then the most important part is to make sure that you have your zipper pulled down before you sew this closed. So I'm going to go ahead, I have everything in place. I'm going to go ahead and stitch just along right here to secure everything together. And then this half of the backpack is done, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side of the backpack. Paige, this is the backpack. It's the Denver by Swoon. So I'm just going to cut off the excess piece of my zipper. And then I'm just going to hit that with the lighter so it doesn't unravel. So now this side of the backpack is all done and it is fully lined. So I'm just going to set this aside and do the exact same thing on the other one. So So it's done the exact same way. We're going to sew this on here first. So we're going to start at the bottom, clipping, and then I'm going to go to the top, and then we're going to meet in the middle. And that will make sure that you are all nice and lined up. Such an awkward angle. Okay, so that is clipped in place. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that on. Received my order purse today. Hey! Are you the one who asked for the wallet, the matching wallet for it as well? I sold 2 of those otter bags. Hi, Oregon. Hello, hello. Yes. That one just went out in the mail to you today. Hopefully you'll get it in a couple of days. They always interrupt. She must have got a call from her husband. I text mine before I go live, so he knows. That is sewn on. And then now we are going to add the interior lining for it. My husband's army, yes. Hi, how are you? Hi, I'm good. Oh, thanks for watching. Okay, so we are going to add our interior around that curve. My calls it around this time every night. Oh. So I'm just lining this up and just clipping it into place. Again, starting at the top, clipping a couple, and then coming to the bottom, and then meeting in the middle. So that we're nice and even. Thank you for your service. Oh, that's awesome, Jennifer. All right, a couple more clips. And then now we're gonna go ahead and sew that right along here. After I drink some coffee. All right. Telling you, this is such an awkward way to sew. Okay. So the interior lining is sewn on. Now we have a fully lined pocket. Where we open this up. And then we just have to connect the sides together. I'd be in a sweat doing those 2 pockets. It's tough like I said, the first couple times I made this pattern, it was a struggle. But it's also, like I said, so rewarding. All right, so I'm just clipping all 3 layers together, and then we're going to go ahead and sew them down together. Uh-oh. And then we're going to make sure that our zipper pull is inside. This is a backpack, yes. Clip my thread, keep it clean. All right. Oh no, I ran out of thread. That's okay, I have another one prepped and ready. We do not have to wait. What is your least favorite pattern to sew? I don't know if I have a least favorite. Maybe the zip around wallet? Until I'm sewing it, and then when I'm sewing it, I'm like, man, I love this pattern. I don't know if I have a least favorite. Alright, now we're sewn together. I'm going to clip my excess zipper tape on the top and bottom. And then hit it with the lighter so it doesn't unravel. Alright, there we go. So we have our pocket all done. So this is going to be the side pocket of the backpack. So we have this side of the backpack, this side of the backpack. So as you can see, it's going to be a very big backpack. I'm going to set this aside. This is closed with a zipper, so I'm going to prep the zipper first, and then we're going to go ahead and attach it. I think the zipper is the last part to prep, and then we're just going to put all the pieces together. So if you've never seen me sew before, if you've never sewn before or seen anybody sew before, think about a bag as just a puzzle. You prep all the little pieces, and then you put all the pieces together. Alright, so there is it's not a zipper tab. It's kind of like, I would probably explain this as like a zipper extension. So I'm just going to clip that on, sew it on. It'll all make sense in a second. Alright, so that's going to be the outside. And then this is going to be the inside. It's going to be sewn on the other part of the zipper. Just going to line those 2 pieces up. And then sew them. All right. Cut off this piece of zipper, hit this zipper with a lighter so it doesn't fray, and then I'm going to open this up, connect these 2, and then do a top stitch. Alright. So here is what our zipper looks like all prepped, and then that's all we have to do to prep it. So we're going to take one side of the bag, start with this one, and then we're going to line this up along the top of the bag. I'm going to clip these threads that I forgot to. So this is going to be the top of the backpack. So we're going to line this up. Okay, and then we're going to sew this in place. The sewing starts about 1/4 of an inch, not from the end. So we're not going to start on the end. We're going to go up about 3/4 of an inch. can't wait to see the end. It's going to be so pretty. Alright, so the zipper is attached to the exterior, and then now we're going to grab one of the interior prints. So the interior is cotton, and it is lined with SF101 interfacing. So I'm going to line that up along the top and then sew that on as well. I got my butterfly wallet today. Yay! You also have the Becca. Is that right? Or was that someone else? Yes. Okay. I thought that was you. It's so weird how my mind works. Like I could be talking to somebody this morning and we could have emailed back and forth for like an hour and I'll totally forget 2 hours later who I was talking to. But then sometimes I can remember somebody in the chat on a live from a week ago telling me that they got a Becca butterfly bag and then I can remember it. It's crazy. Alright, so I'm clipping the bottoms together so we can do a top stitch right along the edge of the zipper. So here's what we're looking like. This is one side, and then that's the interior. I have a matching person wallet now. Yay! I just hopped in here. Is this the Denver? Yes. Alright, top stitch is done. I'll show you guys up close what that looks like. I finished pockets yesterday and that's what it looks like. Yeah, the pockets are probably the toughest part of the bag. I might need a backpack, yes. Alright, so here's what we look like top stitched. And then we're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. Let me get my clips off. So we're going to take the exterior of the other side, lay the zipper up against there, clip it in place, and then stitch it. I'm going to have to pick this up because it's starting to get really big. Were you affected by the fires? No, that's a different island. Okay, sew this in place. All right. So here we go. We have both panels of the backpack. This is the exterior. This is the interior, so the next step is to add the interior on this side. She's the big one now. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just line that up and then sew it in place. And then open it up and do a top stitch. Alright. Let's sew this in place. All right, and then we're going to open it up and do a top stitch. So what I first want to do is clip the bottoms together. That way everything is nice and even when we do our top stitching. Gonna need that on my cruise. Yes, and it will carry a ton of stuff. This is Lori's backpack. She custom ordered it. clip my threads. Alright, here comes the fun part. I'm going to need some more clips. So we have the exterior of the bag, and then we have the interior of the bag. And then now what we're going to do, we'll unclip the bottom. I'm going to cut off this excess zipper. We don't need it. I'm going to singe it with a lighter just so it doesn't unravel. And then now what we're going to do is line these two pieces up, and then we're going to sew these two pieces together for the outside and these two pieces together for the inside. So I'm just going to clip them together and then sew them down. She's a big girl. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and sew all of this all the way down. Get my thread together, grab some water. And let's do it. Alright, interior is sewn together, and then now we're going to do the exterior. Alright. Just clip my thread where I started. Alright. And then now what we're going to do is sew. Again, this is really hard to explain, especially if you've never seen this finished. This is going to be the front of the bag right here. This is the back of the bag. So what I'm going to do is add the back, which is this for the interior, and then this for the exterior. I'm going to add the back of the interior first. So what I'm going to do, grab these clips. I'm going to switch over because I have to sew a curve and it's not just a straight line. When you use clips and clip two pieces of material together, when you take the clip off and you run it underneath the sewing machine, especially when you're sewing a curve, your material tends to slip. So I'm going to pin these two together, and that will keep the fabric from slipping while I'm sewing. So I'm going to find the center of the top of my back and line that up with the center of my interior. Actually, before I do that, let me sew these down really quick. Sorry, I know it's confusing, but it'll all make sense once it's all done. I promise. I'm just stitching the tops together. We're good. This is where I put the project down and not pick it back up. It's a chore. This bag is definitely a chore. But like I said, it's so worth it. I'm just finding the center of my top, which I'm just going to get by folding it. Are you making anything after the backpack? It depends. It's 3 o'clock right now, and I still have to go to the supermarket, the grocery store, to grab some peppers, some bell peppers for dinner. My husband wanted steak and peppers on rice, and I have the steak, I just don't have the peppers. So if I can talk him into stopping by the grocery store on the way home and grabbing those peppers, I might be able to stay and sew something else. I have a Becca that is all cut out and ready to sew. It's ready to sew. So all I'm doing is clipping the back to the inside lining. So nothing exciting right now. Ugh. So I'm going to start at the center of the top, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom, clip those together, and then meet back up at the top. Have you ever made Big B with plain colors? I haven't, but I'm pretty sure somebody posted a bag in my Facebook group with these solid colors that they made. Like, what you got? How many hours a day do you work? Like 12. I worked all day. I went to church yesterday, and then I came home and I started working, and I don't think I stopped until like 10:30 last night. The backpack, it's not hard to make. It's a lot of steps, and it takes a lot of practice. Are you going to post this to YouTube? Most likely, yes. Cutting is my least favorite. Same. Same. Alright, a couple more clips. Okay, we're halfway there. So that is the back, and it's pinned over on this side, and then I just need to pin it over here. Not a beginning, no, this is absolutely not a beginner piece. No ma'am. I don't want to poke myself. Ouch. I said it and then I just did it. I guess you only answer certain people. No, I answer what I see. Did I miss your question? What was the question? You got the spotlight. I hope it was a good question. You're in front of the mic right now. Alright, almost back to the top. Just a couple more pins. The crazy thing is that it takes so long to pin it around, but when I sew it, it's going to take like seconds. Hello. I just need to adjust some of these pins. She asked what kind of fabric you're using. I'm using vinyl on the exterior and cotton on the interior. I was a little confused, but now I can see you putting it together. This bag is confusing. It really is. And it's even hard to explain it. Okay, so here we go. This is the back of the bag, which is clipped to the side. So now I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way around here, hopefully without stabbing myself with one of these pins. So confusing, I know. Final exterior. Thanks. Thanks, Just Mammy. Alright, so I'm getting to the top where the vinyl meets, so I'm just going to go a little slower, just so I don't accidentally sew through my vinyl. I'm going to clip my thread where I started. Alright, done. I need a map. It'll all come together in a second, I promise. Alright, let me get all these pins out. What do I want to do next? I'm going to do the same thing for the exterior. So again, we need a back for our backpack, which is this guy right here. So now I'm going to attach this to the exterior. I cannot use pins on this, so I'm going to use clips, and then I'm going to staple the curve. Staples will come out as soon as I'm done sewing, but I'm going to staple it in place again just so the fabric doesn't shift. It's going to look a little funky for a second, guys. I promise it'll all come together. I have a newfound appreciation for backpacks, yes. Hence the reason why I don't do a whole lot of them. It's a lot of material, a lot of fabric, a lot of time. So I think I'm just going to reserve those for custom orders. This one's going to come together a lot quicker though, because I don't have to put a pin in. I can use clips. And then I'm just going to add a couple staples. Just like that. I personally got hundreds of those clips. I think you have to. Alright. Keep clipping around. This one's the big one to turn right side out. Yes. Yes. She's the big girl. Which reminds me, I need to open up my zippered pocket. We're going to turn it right side out through the zippered pocket. Alright. A couple more clips, then I'll show you guys what it's looking like on my side. So here is the back that we just attached. This is the side of the bag. Remember, there's a pocket here and a pocket here. So I know it looks really funky, but again, it'll all come together. And then now I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of staples just in the curved part. So that way, again, once I take the clips off to sew it, the material won't shift. I am the Yoda of clips. So the staples are outside of my seam allowance, so I will not be sewing over them. And then as soon as I'm done sewing, I'm just going to come in and take the staples out. Alright, one more, and then we'll sew this up. I still don't see it. I know. Trust me, I know. And then I want to make sure that I'm not going to sew my shoulder straps or anything else. I still love how you're so organized. Thanks. Alright, coming around that corner. I mean the curve, not corner. where I started. Alright. All sewn on. Let me get those staples out. Now I want to try a backpack. Do it! This particular pattern, it's a lot of work. Especially the first time you do it. Like I said, the first time I did it, I read the pattern, I watched the video, and I was still so confused. But I've made quite a few now. I've got the pattern memorized. I know what to do. Alright, I'm going to check my seam allowance just to make sure everything caught around the edges. This one didn't, so I'm just going to sew that. There we go. Okay, so if you were here when I was doing the back straps for the back of the bag, I said that I fold up the nylon webbing and then I have it outside of my seam allowance. So this is 2 layers of webbing instead of 1, and again, that is going to secure your shoulder straps from coming through your seam allowance. So that's just how I do mine. It took me all day to do a baby toe, but my first time. How was it, Sam? Was it pretty easy with the video? Have you yet to make a huge mistake live that you... No, not yet. My power's back on, yes. I blew a fuse the other day. Alright, here's what we're looking like. The inside, outside, back, back, and then now the last step is just to put on the bottom of the interior and the exterior. So we're going to start with the interior. I'm going to switch back to pins because there is a curve. So let me get rid of these. Grab some water, hydrate. It was super easy. I used cotton for the outside. Oh, good, good, good. I put my hair up to down. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to attach the bottom. Let me find my center just so I can match up my center marks with the center of the back, which I'm pretty sure is right here. We'll see once I start pinning it if it's right or not. Lord, this is a major operation. True story. True story. But the bottom is the last part pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Then we're going to turn it right side out. We got to sew that zipper pocket shut. And then we're going to add the clip. And that's it. So these are the last 2 main steps of sewing the bag. So if you've stuck it out long enough, I promise you'll see it all come together in just a couple minutes. Did you have your sewing machine shipped over? With my household goods. I've had this sewing machine for about 5 or 6 years. All right. Did you put your name tag on it already? No, for the backpack, there's no real cute place for me to put my name tag on it. So what I do is I use a charm on the zipper. So I'm going to do that. I don't think that's right. That's not lined up right. I should have marked the center. That's all right, we'll just go around. What type of thread do you use? It's called Gutermann, and it is a Mara 70. I'm just going around. This is the boring part. Are you pinning right sides together? Yes. Yes, I am. How many big bang patterns did you sell the first day? I can't remember. Maybe 60? Okay, so here's the bottom of the bag. I'm just pinning it around. I'm just going to come over on this side and then meet in the middle. I haven't added my nameplate yet. That's going to be attached to the zipper with a charm. It's not going to be my traditional nameplate. Yeah, having my hair down would drive me crazy. It doesn't bother me. Can that be made on a domestic machine? With vinyl? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of thick layers. So yeah, I don't see why not. I've never done it on a domestic sewing machine, and I can't remember if I've seen anybody like on YouTube make it on a domestic sewing machine. But just thinking about this bag, if you used vinyl on the exterior, there's not a whole lot of layers. My domestic had a hard time with vinyl. Did it? Do you have like a Teflon foot? I have to get a semi-industrial. I don't know if I'll have time to make anything next. I have to get dinner ready. All that fun stuff. I just cut 6 inches off my hair as long as it's easy to push out of the way. Yeah, the shorter the hair, the harder it is to keep it up in a way. All right, couple more pins. My domestic handles vinyl and layers pretty well, but I do have an industrial. I backpacked my daughter when she started when she's graduated. Oh, yeah, they're tough. That's a lot. All right, last pen. So here we go. Here is the bottom of the backpack. And I'm going to go ahead and sew that up and hopefully not get pinned. The pins do leave holes in the vinyl. This is cotton, so this is not vinyl, and I don't pin my vinyl. All right. So I'm just sewing and turning. I just clipped my thread where I started. All right. Now I'm just going to take all these pins out. And then we're going to sew the bottom of the exterior. And that is pretty much it. Then we're going to turn this bad boy right side out through our zippered pocket. If you were to line that with waterproof canvas, would you still have to interface? No. Waterproof canvas is a lot thicker than cotton. Alright, so the last step is just to add the bottom to the exterior. Oh, the big B pattern, yay! Would you do the same for the NCW? That's not my pattern, so I can't do that. Alright, so here is the bottom of our backpack. I'm going to go ahead and line. Let me find I have the centers marked. Alright, so this time we're going to use clips. Grab some water. Okay. line it up. So I'm going to clip this in place. Somebody was asking about pins leaving holes in vinyl, and that is correct. So I will clip the vinyl, and then I'll add a couple of staples around the curve. Ugh. She is a beast. I'm gonna sew open this side seam really quickly, just so everything lays nice and flat while I'm sewing it. Hi. Let me see if I can do it for the other seams real quick. How many hours a day do you sew? Like 8 hours a day, maybe. All right, this is the last side seam I'm gonna sew open. And then I'll keep attaching the bottom. All right. I'm gonna line up, I started back here, and then I'm gonna line up this one to this seam and then clip that in place. As I'm doing this, I'm running through my mind. I feel like I've forgotten a step. So I'm running through what all I have to do to finish this bag, and I think I'm good. Pretty sure I'm good. Does your husband ever get tired of hearing the sewing machine? No. No. He is incredibly supportive. Incredibly supportive. He knows that I work long days, long hours, and then, like last night, I want to say it was like 6:30 maybe. And he was just like, all right, I haven't spent any time with you. Time to wrap it up. So he'll let me work an unreasonable amount of hours, and he's incredibly supportive. Have you been on long? Yeah, about an hour and a half. The sound of the sewing machine reminds me of my mom. Oh. All right, couple more clips. All right, so the bottom is clipped to the exterior. I'm gonna do a couple of staples around the curved part. I don't know if you can tell, but this is the straight part, and then everything else is curved. Thank God for good men. Amen. So I'm just gonna add a couple staples around. Again, just so the two pieces of material don't shift as I'm sewing. Staples are just like clips. Use as many or as little as you want. I'd rather have more than not enough. So excited to try this pattern and watching you. Yeah, try it. It's just all about practice. Oh, why do you staple? It keeps my materials from shifting as I'm sewing them together. The staples will come off after I sew it. I remove the staples. It's just going to hold it in place. All right, couple more. Alright, one more and then I'm done. Promise. Alright, let's sew it up. I'm gonna get some of these clips out of the way. Yeah, the staples are outside of the seam line, so I'm not going to sew over them, and the holes will not impact the material because they are outside of the seam line. So let's go ahead and sew this down. And then we get to turn it right side out. What questions do you have to ask the most during all sewing projects? The type of sewing machine that I have. I think that's the most asked question, which I'm fine with. Alright, so I'm going to sew and turn. My eyes are so dry. The air conditioner is right above me. Let me move that vent. There we go. So ready. Almost done. All I gotta do is sew this, take the staples out, and then I'm gonna turn it right side out. And then it will all come together. Bobby, I'm making a backpack. All right. All sewn up. Let me get rid of these clips. Take out my staples. I'm going to double check my seam, make sure everything got caught. I didn't realize I put so many in. Alright, that's all of them. Double check my seam. Everything got caught. It looks beautiful. Clean up. Put those away. And then turn it right side out. Let me just grab some water really quick. Alright. Is everybody ready? So here we go. Here's the backpack. That's the back. That is going to be one side, the other side, and the bottom. I'm hand sewing my first quilt. Oh my goodness. Ready. Okay. I'm going to go through my zipper pocket. Feel around. I'm going to push my bottom in first. It's birthing time, yes. Alright, grab the bottom, pull that through, and then just push and roll. It's a lot of bags, so don't force it. Just keep pushing and rolling. It'll go through. Now I just need to straighten everything out. What is the most difficult thing? Oh, I missed the question. Have you ever ripped your seams open during the push and roll? Never. It's pretty. All right. Get my lining pressed in. I'm going to sew my zipper pocket shut. Oh, geez, side pockets. Aren't they cute? So here's essentially how the bag is going to be finished. It's going to be folded over like this. And then we have it's going to clip down here to the bottom. And then we have a backpack like that. Looks kind of weird right now, but once I finish it and put the top on, it'll all make sense. This is truly talent. Oh, thanks. Isn't it cute? I told you, it's so hard to explain this bag when I'm doing it, but once it's all done, you're like, oh, yeah. I remember when you did that, and when you did that. All right, let me sew my zipper pocket shut, and then we'll attach the front part, and then we're pretty much done. I just got to add my charm with my brand on it. This one is a custom order, so this is not available for sale. This is Miss Lori's. Almost all of us were like, the zipper. Call your husband for the peppers. Okay. For Santa's sake. It's really pretty. Alright, I'm just lining up my interior. And then here is the bottom. Alright, let me grab some clips and then we'll finish off the top, but that's how it's going to lay. Isn't it pretty? Hey, Susan. Okay. I'm going to line up the front, zip it down. This does not have a closure on here, so let me go ahead and just sew that closed, just so I don't accidentally take off my zipper pull, which I have done before. So I'm just going to sew that closed. Alright. Thanks, Karen. Okay, here we go. Let me do it this way first. Okay, so this is what we made earlier. This part right here. This is going to go over the front, and then it's going to clip closed to this bottom part that we sewed to the bottom. So I'm going to just attach this to the front here. I'm going to secure it with rivets, but I just need to make sure everything's lined up, so you won't be able to see me put it on until I'm done with it. Oh no, congratulations. What did I miss? I'm just making sure everything is nice and lined up before I put this on with rivets. Is that the only style you have in the backpack? I've made other ones. So if you want to order, I have a custom order list. If you want a custom order, or if you're interested in seeing the other styles, just send me an email, info@butterbags, and then I'll send you a picture of the other style. So here we go. So this has a lobster clasp, and this is going to clasp to the bottom. I'm going to secure this on with some rivets. And then these are the side pockets that we did earlier that are fully lined. There's one on this side, and then there's one on this side. Nice big deep pockets. You can fit a phone and a whole bunch of other stuff. So there's still tons of room for other stuff in this pocket. I don't ship to Canada, just within the US. I'm so sorry. Oh, let me take my phone out. I'm gonna zip that up. All right, let me grab some rivets so that we can secure this. I'm going to add the charm. So there's no real center way to add my name tape. I can't add it in the center anywhere, so I just add this to the zipper. So that's the last step. Let me grab some rivets. I'm gonna put 3 in. Can we see the inside pockets? Yeah, hold on one second. Let me add these rivets to the front and then I'll show you the whole bag. Inside and outside. All right. Grab my hole punch. Punch through. The back of my rivet on. Do the same thing on this side. Make sure everything is nice and lined up. There's like 4 or 5 layers. Did not get through it all. It's not getting through. Oh, gracious. Okay. I think I got through all the layers. For some reason, it's not getting through all those layers. At this point, I would call my husband upstairs. He's at work. There we go. Good night. I don't know why that took so much. It didn't go through the back, but that's the easy one. There we go. Oh my gosh, that got me sweating. I should have that required muscles, right? To sew. Alright, there we go. And I'm just going to put one in the front. I don't know why that was such a struggle. There we go. It's like all in the hand, so you have to have hand strength. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that went all the way through. Ah, there we go. Good night. All right. And then let me go ahead and set these rivets. My arthritis couldn't do that. I know, right? My Wheaties this morning. All right. Let me set these rivets. Add my brand. And then this baddie is all done. And this is just going to go right on the zipper. Make sure it goes on the right way. Okay, done. So here is the backpack with the little grab strap. So here is the front, the side with the pockets. So here are the lined pockets. There's one on each side. This side and then this side. Nice big pockets. And then you have adjustable shoulder straps on the back. So you can wear it up high or low. And then to open this up, you're going to unclasp it from the bottom. And then here's what it looks like from the side. Unzip it. And then on the inside, you have that zipper pocket. That's where we turned it right side out through. And then there's like a ton of room. So, and then when you want to close it, just close the zipper. And then clasp it to the bottom. And it's all done. This is the Denver by Swoon. And you can fit a ton of stuff in here. Thanks. Oh, good, Lori. Thank you again for being so understanding earlier. All right, it's 3:45. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to text my husband to see if he'll stop by the store. And if he will, then I'll come back on live. I've got a Becca that I have to do. Thank you, guys. So if you're not following me already, follow me. And then if you want to get a notification if I come back live, just make sure you click on the bell in my profile. So if you click on the BB, go to my profile, click on the bell in the top right, then you should get notified whenever I go live. Thanks. And this will go out to you, Miss Lori, first thing tomorrow. She's so pretty. Okay, hopefully I'll see you guys in a little bit.